Now, the electoral officers assigned to conduct elections in some parts of Imo State have protested attempts by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to collate results in polling units where elections did not hold. The electoral officers say elections did not hold in some wards in Oru West and Ohaji and Egbema local government areas of the state, but results are coming from those areas. According to them, electoral materials did not arrive in these areas and they dispersed without voting. Now, the electoral officers wondered where the electoral body got the results it announced in these areas. Meanwhile, the lawmaker representing Ohaji, Egbema, Oguta, and Oru West Federal Constituency, Honorable Kingsley Uju, is demanding cancellation of the elections in his constituency, saying the process was full of irregularities. The lawmakers also cried out to the Inspector General of Police, alleging threat to his life and family members by the state government.
In my own polling unit, which is Mbudi 2B, where we had election in some polling units, but two polling units, 025 and 030, election was not held. And we demanded from ECG 40G. We weren't giving it to us from the EO, who is Mrs. Mweke. On getting here yesterday, we were given this form. Since morning, we've been running around to submit this form that election did not hold, and nobody wants to collect it from us.
I worked at Oru West, Mbidi, Oru West, Ibiasebe. The EO refused attending to us. No vehicle to take me to where I'm supposed to work. I called her attention several times, but no avail. So I'm here to return the form EC4G so that I will exempt myself in case there is any result from that polling unit. I have 12 polling units. No election was conducted in any of them.
I worked as an SPO at Ubutu in Oru West local government, but unfortunately the election did not hold. And I want to do the needful to exempt myself from all blames by submitting this form EC40G filled by my POs. But unfortunately, nobody collected it from us.
I need to actually invite the rest of Imo, all the INEC staff that worked in Ohajimima, Oguta, and Oru West to ascertain what happened in Ajima, Oguta, and Oru West. And I want to use this medium again to appeal to the Inspector of Police to caution the police authorities in Imo State to stop harassing me, to stop intimidating me, and stop intimidating my own supporters and believers of my project as a candidate of PDP.
Election observer and political analyst Achike Chude joins us now for more analysis. Good to have you with us, Achike. Thank you so much for joining us in this studio.
It's a pleasure.
We've seen a rare joint. Then I understand that NLB is also live in the Abuja studio. She joins us now to give us further perspective on the Nigeria Decides 2023 program. Achike, let me start with you. We've seen a rare joint collaboration between opposition parties to protest what they termed manipulation of election results, and they're calling for the cancellation. We've also seen the APC overnight become INEC defenders. They believe that their candidate is already winning, and that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi should toe the path of honor taken by President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. How would you react to all what is playing out, considering the high expectations Nigerians had concerning the conduct of the 2023 election with the use of beavers, IREV, who were so full of expectation? How do you explain this drama that it has become?
Some will describe it as the theater of the absurd, where you have, opposition parties coming together to take a common position. Then the APC defending a government institution, when about a few weeks ago, they were the ones carrying out a campaign of calumny against their own government over the redesigning of the Naira, if you remember. And you also had, at that moment, the opposition defending the federal government. So this is what has been playing out. It's they say desperate situations call for desperate measures. So these are desperate times, and it's also an unprecedented period in the history of this country. Don't forget that before this election, people had posited that this was perhaps going to be the most important or most pivotal elections in the history of the country. Every election is very, very important. But I think people had taken the myriads of socioeconomic problems into consideration, and they felt that the country is truly and really on the edge. Therefore, if you're going to have an election at this particular point in time, there must be an election that will produce political leaders that will be conscious of the historical role they have to play, that will be conscious of the very dangerous times they have found themselves in, and begin the process of addressing some of these issues. But here we are. We are seeing the attitude of the political elites and the politicians of 2003, 2007, 2011. And so when you think that we have gotten it right in our democracy, you realize that this country, that we have taken so many steps backwards. And I hope people understand the implication of what is happening. If you had had 23 years, 24 years of unbroken democracy, and today, this is where we are, when an election is being contested, across the nooks and crannies of this country, when people are beginning, question these elections, when the international organizations that have been very helpful to this country in terms of trying to ensure that the process of the election is credible, they have also, in a way, been helpful with providing resources and materials and facilities and funding for certain aspects of this election, through the INEC and other civil society organizations. And then we are in a cul-de-sac. We're in a period of tension over the announcing of the results. Then it becomes a problem. Yes, you mentioned the issue of, the beavers and all that. Look, what has happened today is all about one thing. That thing that we were told was going to be a game changer. The crisis that we are in today, right now, as a result of this election, is just that name, that machine with 5 letters, in it, BIVIAS, beavers. That's what the whole thing is all about. That was the target, in my opinion, of this, election. So all of the crises that have been engendered is as a result of, this machine. The INEC chairman had told us before now, different, occasions, that we should rest assured that Nigerians will have the opportunity to see the results of the efforts that they have made at the polling units, that they will see it real-time online. And if there's look, let me put it this way. For lawyers, they will tell you that laws are not done to be seen, but should be seen to be done. Perception. Then nobody talks about having a free, fair, and credible election. They only tell you that we must ensure that, the elections are seen to be free and fair and credible. Perception. Why is perception important? Because it means everything. People need to have a belief in their country. They need to have a belief that the process that leads to the changing of political leadership is transparent, reasonably transparent, and free and fair. Because that is the only way you can govern a people over a long period of time. And so there's tension over what has happened with the beavers. They are talking about glitches and the rest. At the moment, the beavers worked at a particular point in time during this process. People were able to get to the polling units. They were able to do their biometrics, fingerprint. Those who had issues with their fingers, fingerprint, they had them, their faces were also, scanned for the process of this election. Everything worked, and they were able to exercise their vote with the same machine. But just after, a particular period of time, when counting has started, when the machine will begin to do the other aspect of the work, transfer these votes to the IRF, then the magic happened. Everything stopped still. And then, they could no longer do that. Then the next thing was that they now had to take these votes of the people. The people had no control over it anymore. They didn't know what was going to happen with their votes. They now took it to a world where other people were now going to be in the process of deciding what will happen with these votes. So this is what this election is all about. And the question that should be asked is what happened with the beavers? And you can see that, you know, they've been throwing these questions to the INEC, you know, from time to time. Upload the results that you have. Even those ones have been uploaded, people are finding inconsistencies with what they have in the, and you know, for ultimately at the end of the day, we have prayed for good elections in this country because we want our country to move forward. But right now, I'm not exactly sure that we are in a good place. I mean, there's tension in the air. Why would it be? So lastly, what it tells you is that the gains that we have made from 1999, we have made gains. I'm not going to say we have not made gains. We are beginning to have a more tolerant political culture. Perhaps not the way we wanted it because we experienced violence in 2011, 2015, 2019, and so on. But as the process evolves, continues to evolve, you feel that some of these tensions that are being generated by the bad politics we play in this country will begin to go down because we are beginning to imbibe the ethos, and the values of democracy. Our politicians have learned nothing and they have forgotten nothing. That is why they have put us in this atmosphere, in this environment of tension. And I think it is exceedingly very wrong.
Well, it definitely seems that we take a few steps forward, and now we're taking a few steps back. It's been a bit of a shambolic situation unfolding. But NLB, let me come to you in the studio there. I want to throw to you a similar question. Get your reaction to, of course, this the APC press conference that just wrapped up, and of course the Labour Party and PDP, strange bedfellows linking up in order to defend their rights. Are these altruistic moves, especially on the part of the APC? But your comments on what you listened to from both of the press conferences.
I think while they are making their comments, I'm happy that Achike is there and is also a member of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room. He's one of our zonal coordinators. But I want to just use this opportunity also for the program that was aired by Arise on the 26th, which was, there was a statement that was made by Mma Odi on behalf of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room. And I thought to, seize the opportunity of being on Arise now to apologize to CDD for the statement that was made. Mma made the statement in her own capacity, but of course, as an observer, she was coming in from the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, for the observation of the 2023 general election. But it's not on behalf of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, because if we issue a statement, or an observation about a particular thing, that statement will be carried by, either the convener or the co-convener. I just want to rest, in any way that is damaging to CDD. We want to apologize. CDD is a member organization of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room and a very, very, dedicated member, one of the original funders. I just want to put that to rest, that we apologize, in any way that that particular statement from Mma Odi. Much as we work together as different organizations, we also have the opportunity for autonomy. We have autonomy of every organization. I'm a convener, Civil Society Situation Room today,
all right,
because I'm from Actioning. I'm from one of the members. I want to pull that to rest.